Good evening, everybody. This is not the expected supercar 575, but this is someone else entirely. This is Lord Bexlington here, and now now the supercar here has just recommended me this fantastic game called Need for Speed World, and lo and behold, there's one of my favourite cars in there. There's a Jaguar E-Type Lightweight. I've always wanted one of these, and it was there for 3,400 boost. Now, I could not believe the price. It was unbelievable. Hold on a minute, hold on. Do you mind turning that down? You won't be rolling around at the speed of sound, that's for sure. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. Supercars just bought a new game. Anyway, I decided to buy this little gem of a motor car, and before you know it, it was added to Supercar's collection. Now, it wasn't mine. No, it wasn't my account, of course. It was Supercar's. I had his express permission. Anyway, let's take this out for a drive. Driver! Tally ho! Okay, let's see if the old girl still has what it takes. I say. Well, what do you know? It certainly has the speed and the lightweight handling it's always known to have. Now, I wasn't very satisfied with just driving it around like a lark, so I decided to get in touch with an old friend of mine. Now, unfortunately, my old friend does not have one of these cars, the bastard, but instead he decided to take me on in a completely different car. So I'm still larking about here. Hold on a minute, hold on. Driver, what are you doing? I don't care if you're speeding. Now stop at the theatre here. I need to see the show. Anyway, Mark DeValis is playing here, so I decided to see the show for a while. But after that, I decided to race my old friend here. Now, as we enter the race into the downtown parts of this map, he decided to take along an M3 Sport Evolution. Now, I've heard about this car quite a lot, and I've heard it's one of the best out there. But does it have what it takes to take on the Jag? Anyway, after that rather... I do apologize. Every time I say the word Jag, it seems to hoarse my throat. Anyway, I lined up at the start line and gave it the beans. And he got away. Oh dear, that didn't seem very good. He sort of sped away. It didn't seem too good, but nevertheless, I decided to just take the car out for a little spin, as it were, and just see what the old girl is capable of. Now, I will admit, even though I'm hitting the walls here, my driving is not really that up to scratch, unfortunately. But I gave it my all to take on the BMW, but he was still getting away. Oh dear, old Fritzy decided to beat me again. Having visions of World War II again. Oh dear, I have to take my mind off of this. Just focus on the Jag. Focus on the Jag. Now, as you may have noticed, this is the lightweight racing version. It has, as you can see, it seems to sport these rather fetching racing stripes. The good old Union flag. Rule Britannia. It sported the number 1, the classic circle on the sides and the back here, and the number plate reads E-Type. And I thought that was a lovely touch. They put this in, but what's more, that makes me rather tearful, is that they include the British racing green, one of my favourite colours. Little did you know that I do own a couple of Jags myself. Oh yes, in real life. Now, the Jags I own I do not have this E-Type, I will admit. I do, and some of these modern Jags are not to my liking, unfortunately. I'm more of a classic chap. I mean, one of the Jags is one of mine. It's not the lightweight, it is the E-Type Roadster. It's a lovely driving car, that. Alongside my collection, I also have an Austin Healey Frog Eye Sprite. Did you know? Yes, the Frog Eye Sprite is a very light handling car, just like this Jag here. It's a shame they didn't include it in the game. Oh dear. What a shame. Oh well, no matter. The Jag has more presence, unfortunately, and that's fine by me. Now, as I said, this costs, what is it, 3,400 boosts. Now, I don't know what that equates into real money, but it was definitely worth every penny, no less. Anyway, where was I in this race? Oh yes, we're coming up to the final few corners. The handling in this motor vehicle is absolutely splendid. I absolutely adore the way it handles. Anyway, after a while, I crossed the line 3 seconds behind the BMW. I was not impressed by that. It was such a shame. But still, nonetheless, I persevered as much as I could. He was a good friend of mine. He just happened to like the German cars better. Anyway, I did get a nice cash lump sum, and unfortunately a rather bloody awful reward. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Still, my friend didn't seem too happy. He felt he won by too much, so he decided to give me another fighting chance. So he invited me to another race in the same location, which is all very well and good, but this time he decided to take something from America, believe it or not, the El Camino. The El Camino is from this company called Chevrolet. And I've heard about Chevrolet. They do make cars with, but they are big engines. They're 8-cylinder arranged in the shape of a V, don't you know? Anyway, we decided to have another little round just for fun, you know. That's all we do, really. Fun, you know. Just because I'm about 65 years old doesn't mean I know fun, right? Right? Anyway, let's get on with the race, shall we? And I've heard about all these V8s, as the term suggests. It appears that it has a lot of grunt, no doubt. It has this nice growly bass to it, and the lightweight Jag was keeping up with him. I could not believe my eyes. It was unbelievable. Then he had made a false judgment, and he turned in on me by accident. I'm sure it was all in good fun. I do hope the poor Jag isn't too scratched, especially after these wall scrapings. Oh dear. Anyway, let's just persevere as much as I can and keep it my own. Well, I say keeping it my own. I wasn't driving it anyway. It was my driver, and I just kept shouting at him, "Driver, you can do this, as you know." Is that the right term? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Oh God, I think I'm going to see now dementia. The fluffy clouds. Oh dear. I've gone into overheat my pants. Oh dear, that's not good. Anyway, let's just keep going. I think I took out I just hit oh dear. I hit a taxi motor car. I do hope the poor occupants are all right. I do get deeply concerned about them. Although some people have told me who play this game that the traffic AI, as they call it, is, what do they say? Utter shite, I believe. Just utter shite. I do hope that word is right, but I just did my best. I persevered and just carried on and went, as they say, no. Now, I do apologize for the way I'm talking. I was slightly nervous because This is my first time doing a voiceover for a video on YouTube. Usually Supercar does this job. I did say to him, do you mind awfully doing just the editing side of things where you put all the videos together? And I'll just provide the voice. I'll do what I can. And I said, if I can do a good impression of him, he said, yeah, alright, might as well. Anyway, Anyway, he's such a good sport, even though he does play his damn games too loud! Oh dear, I do apologize. He seems to have got this Sonic Adventure 2 video game recently, and he hasn't stopped playing it at full bloody volume! It seemed to rather distract me somewhat. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. This traffic, as they say, was utter shite, and I seem to have lost even worse this time. He seemed to have crossed the finish line 4 seconds ahead. Oh dear. Oh, how embarrassing for the poor Jag. It's not just game. Oh dear, I do apologize about that. My other brother came in to tell me to keep it down and warn him next time. Oh dear. Anyway, my car did get rather damaged, but in an instant I won a fair amount of money, so I used it to repair it. And before you know it, it was absolutely good as new. There was one thing, or a couple of things, when I bought this lovely Jag that I did not like, that I did not really approve of. One of them was these rather odd-looking vinyls, as they call it. The fake dirt vinyls. Yes, unfortunately they had to be removed. It just looked a bit too, what's the word? Try hard, really. So, after a few seconds of searching in the vinyl shop, as they call it, I removed them permanently, as it makes the car look, well, better, really, as you do. Anyway, after that, the rest of the car looked absolutely spiffing. Well, almost. One other thing I didn't like were these ghastly-looking wheels, and I had to remove them. They did not suit the car at all. Oh dear. Such a shame I bought this for several amounts of boost. So I headed over to the wheel shop and asked them to put on the originals if they found any in stock. But luckily, knowing me, being the Lord Bexlington no less, they were more than happy to oblige. And just like that, the Jag looked absolutely perfect. I might do something about the rest of the decorations, but what's it matter? The car looked absolutely spiffing. And with that, my quest was complete. I finally possessed the E-Type Jaguar. I do hope you've enjoyed my little ditty. And this has been Lord Bexington, and I reviewed the E-Type Jaguar. Thank you very much indeed. Oh dear. Right. Where's that brandy? I'll do it.